let other people who might be considering joining Social Media Manager School know what your experiences were with it. So our first question is, what was maybe an obstacle or something that was kind of you were worried about when you were thinking about signing up for Social Media Manager School? Tell us about that.
For me, I wasn't really worried about anything. I knew that was something that I really wanted to do, and I was really interested in taking on the challenge. The obstacles, once you get in there, it was no obstacle. Everything was laid out for you. It was something that that can move you past your fears and
changed my life. So obstacles, no obstacles whatsoever. It was kind of amazing for me. I was just in a place in my virtual assistant business where I was a little bit disenchanted, kind of bored with what I was doing. I saw that the entire industry was moving towards social media. I wanted to jump on board. And I don't remember which platform it was. It might have been Twitter that I heard about this, and it was the right thing at the right time for me. So I jumped on. No obstacles whatsoever.
I kind of thought it was going to be, and this might sound funny, a little bit too beginner because I had already been working as a social media manager and a community manager and have been working online for about 13 years. So I kind of wondered whether the content was going to be a little too simplistic. And so I bought the premium version, and I was not disappointed. Oh my gosh, I learned so much stuff. And even the basics that are included in the course, you know, it's always good to have a refresher, and you know, social media changes constantly. Yeah. So it was so good because it was not just about social media, but how to do social media as a business.
And I really find the time outside of my day job to really get to that $1,000 a month in revenue. And of course, I'm thinking like, you know, $10 or $15 an hour is all people will pay. And so I'm like, I don't think I could work at Target and make that kind of money and it'd be dependable. So I was so underestimating my experience and my value. So I was afraid to make that step. And while the financial step wasn't huge, it still was something that made me think, am I going to get the return on this money? And oh golly, yes, absolutely.
That's awesome.
That's great. So you purchased the product, and what was the result with that? Once you got into the program and saw what we offered inside the modules, what were your thoughts around that?
So really, in my mind, there's two schools of thought. There's or two types of people who come in. There are people who they want to do a business and they don't know a lot about social media per se. And then there are folks, I think, like myself, who've actually been in marketing and social media for a while, but we don't have any idea how to do a business. So my laser focus was, I feel pretty confident about most of the social media, although as it turns out, maybe not as confident as I should have been, and but I really want to know how to do the business. And I did not have time to ramp up and read business books and design formats and design and talk about contracts and keeping track of multiple clients. I had no idea what this was all about, what that involved, and that's what I really entered this course for. And that is far and above what I got out of it, was the ability to have the business side taken care of, so I could start a business.
My company, Crush Marketing Group, has just grown by leaps and bounds in the year that I've taken Social Media Manager School, and I honestly couldn't have done without it. I was already a social media manager, but I only had a couple of clients, and so this course has really allowed me to grow. So I'm so grateful for taking this.
Just the how-tos, just the getting in there and doing it, and it's at your own pace. That's the biggest thing, but yeah.
Well, I have a list here, so I'm going to go through it. First of all, I'm going to say that it gave me confidence. I was already dabbling in all different types of the social media channels, but you know, there were lots of gaps in my education. So the education that this program gave me filled in all the gaps, and that was essential for raising the confidence level. I loved being able to have the credibility of having a certification, so I love that you did that. And of course, there's the amazing support of the group. Whenever I have a problem, I'm there. I always make sure that I try and solve a couple of other people's problems before I jump in with mine. And having access to both you, Andrea, and Phyllis is amazing. Try not to abuse that privilege. But I might have strayed off a little bit, but let me just add that I was able to increase my fees 50%.
Wow.
With confidence. So that was like one of the big things.